Is that the best you've hit your ground strokes this week? It just seemed just crisp, pretty much from beginning to end, crisp, clean.
Yeah, it is definitely better. I'm getting better each match. Just gotta figure out my serve, and things are going well. I'm returning, getting myself in a lot of points, returning deep, and giving myself a lot of looks. And as the matches go on as well, I'm getting better, so that's a good sign.
The conditions here are pretty ideal for you. I mean, you get a lot of balance on your serves. Even though it's not the fastest court in the world,
I like it also. It gives me time a little bit to organize my game and so forth. So there's maybe a little bit of a drawback on that same time, but I think I do a good job managing with it. It's sort of like a clay court that's a little bit easier to move on. Before you go out on court, yeah, you can be confident and stuff, but there's a lot of uncertainty on how things are going to play out that day. So that uncertainty, when things aren't going well, can cause obviously insecurities, which make all the difficult things that are going on magnified and make them seem bigger than they really are. So you have these emotions. There's a lot of wins that you have where, rather than joy, it feels like a good relief. And then there's a lot of wins that are the most amazing feeling. So you have a complete range of emotions that everybody and anybody can face. It's just how you deal with them that really makes a difference, that separates the three guys that are at the top from everybody else so far. But it's about always learning how to deal with it and get better with it. I haven't. I got to focus on myself. I got to organize my game. Last time I played him, I managed to do a better job than the previous few times. So I think I have a reference base and just try to make the most of it and go out there and put forth, firstly, the right attitude, find my game, and then see the adjustments I need to make.
Can you also expand about the conditions? Because, you know, I think some people talk about the court being slower, the ball bouncing, that's easy to play. To Rafa's hand, but also sometimes it helps a big server like you. Can you maybe talk about these conditions, how they'll come into play?
Yeah, it's like I said at the beginning, it's like playing on a clay court that's a little bit easier to move on. In that sense, there's no sliding around. The ground's more stable underneath you. It does bounce. It lets you, when you get ahead, I don't think you finish off the points as quickly, but it lets you sort of construct the points. It lets you find your game. It lets you have the time to organize what you're trying to do, and then try to make the most of it.
How do you watch Rafa play here? Because unlike play, he doesn't play closer to the baseline around here. I don't know if you've seen that, or what kind of difference you think that might make.
Well, Rafa's at his most dangerous when he can get inside the baseline. I don't think it's really a difference on clay or hard courts. When he can get his forehand inside the baseline, that's when he's at his most dangerous. So you got to try to keep him back as much as you can. I think it's the most exciting thing. I'm here because I want to break through and win at these big events, and everybody's aware that those are the kind of guys you have to get through. And I've consistently been able to put myself in this position where I'm facing the top guys in the big events, and I want to make a difference more than I have before. So it's really like a big challenge for me, a big test, and I'm ready to step up.
Sure.
He's the most intense at expressing it, but I think it's there's a lot of intensity in a lot of players like a Novak and Roger. I don't think they lack intensity by any means, but I think Rafa really imposes it within himself, but also putting it out there to be noticed by his opponents and to bring himself up as well.
Courtney?